Hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on a couple of styles for these one-page wonder type of covers for little simple journals that's going to the shop. They needed some for their big weekend that's coming up, and I've got a few of them ready to go, and I've got a couple to do so I can show you how it's done and what I used. Okay, our sneaky peek, we have it's Valentine's. I was going to say Halloween. But I did some stenciling here. This is one of those CD pocket envelopes, and here's like a little tuck. I've been using the same envelope all through here if you've kept up with me. Uh, this is just a little envelope, just a little tiny envelope that was from a Stamperia kit. I had a butterfly. I've got a grosgrain ribbon that pulls this out. I found that was the easiest way to do these because they have to fold, you know. So, anyhow, is a little uh, Cupid with Love My Valentine. I did a little kind of a collage situation here, put little hearts on there. I keep saying little, I need to stop that. But I wrote on here, I don't even know what it was about. I was probably me and my husband, what we did for Valentine's Day. But I did a collage situation on the back here, as you can see, and I have just a small focal, and I think they call that a T card. Oh, you can't even see it. I think they call this little thing a T card. I got a whole page of them that was freebies. But yeah, it's all kinds of colors on there, isn't it? And this is a piece of graph paper. And I found out when I spray my graph paper, it has a tendency to kind of smear. So I don't know if anybody else has had that issue. Oh, and then I'll just show you this page because there's not much to it. This is another piece of that envelope. Good grief, I'm using it everywhere. It looks like my tape bleeds. I was using tape to glue things down, or not to use glue, but I used the tape, and it looks like it's bled. And this is a couple of years old, so that's kind of a warning to you. You may not want to use two-sided tape. But here is Be Fearless. It's a matchbook cover, which I just showed how to do today. Well, not today. I'm filming for tomorrow, I believe, or the next day. So I just showed in my last video how to do matchbook covers. So that's all this is. Just a little simple guy. And it's just covered with some scrap paper, and he tucks right back in there. So I will put my bookmark there. We're going to get to working on our covers for our simple journals. I did have somebody ask me about a Rita Donnelly flip. So here's the best way I can show you. You're going to use a square. It could be any size. This is a 3¼ inch square, and I just went from one angle. It depends on which side and if it's a directional paper. This sort of is going this way because it's supposed to be double, double, toil and trouble. So I went and I figured it would be on the left side of a page. Let me use the back page of this. So let's say this is a page in my journal, the left side of the page. So I'm going to probably put it on here. So I needed to do a score line from this way. Now, if this was the right side paper and you want it to be over there, you would be going here. But for it to be directional, you're going to go from this corner to this corner with your score. You kind of know what I'm saying. So anyhow, the way this works, you would want probably a two-sided paper or a solid paper. Because the way I've got this now, it is going to be it is going to be plain on this side. This is just a scrap. I didn't have anything else I had on hand that I could show you with. But this is the way it works. You go and you glue it. You glue along this edge and that edge, the part that is going to be against the paper, and it glues down. Then you have a tuck. You got a tuck where you can tuck something. And the way I've been using in a lot of my journal is I would write inside of here what the item was I had on the page when I did it. what the name of it was, that kind of thing. But that's all a Rita Donnelly flip is. She came up with it long ago, and I kept hearing about it from Scrapbooking with Me. So I've been using it ever since. And I've used it in some journals, let me say. Okay, this page here is from this Dark Academia. And I've used all of them, but it came from this book. And it was a wonderful piece. Now, I've used the whole thing. It was like it's a 12-inch by 12-inch. I scored it at the base at 3 inches up. So that got tucked over and became the pocket. So what you have to do though then is cut this wedge out. I think I just showed this. I feel like I just showed this sometime not long ago. Anyhow, hell, it may have been the last video. I think I did show you how I was doing these. So anyhow, this is a big pocket here, a big pocket here. I did some heat embossing here with a white skeleton. And I did, I had some things from Pink Monarch prints, little scruffy looking things, the grungy labels, I guess you called them. But this is the inside. I put a piece of washi up here with a bird on it. Over here, I only used a couple of things. Let me find those. Need to show you all the goodies I've been using. See, this was the new one I got called Foreboding. It's CMS 470. But I used the skull. I used the candle. I used this on some part. It might be on the other one. And I did use this scroll part here. And what it is, it's supposed to be the smoke stream of the candle. And I don't know if you can see it. I did do it in black heat embossing to make it a little shinier, but it didn't really come out against because this was so busy, I guess. But you can see it if you really look. See, it's coming right off the candle flame, and it's making a smoke trail. So that's what I did here. And I did put some cheesecloth that I had sprayed with specimen mica spray, and I think it was I had some blue on it, and I had some gray on it. I was trying to get it grungy looking. So that's what I did here. Now see, one has condemned, and I mistakenly put Casket Company on this one. It was supposed to be all condemned. So, and each one's got the little labels on the inside. So we're going to do one of these. The other one that I did, and oh, the Casket Company and Condemned came from this set, the Rest in Peace. This is one of my favorite sets. The skeleton that I just showed you on the inside came from the Haunted Mansion. And on the inside of this one, I have Witch Hazel. The Witch Hazel stamp. So it's in here. So I've been using quite a bit of the different things. And then on the back of this one, I did a gold embossing of this Shattered stamp. And this is a great one. It's so big. It covers almost the whole page. And it comes with its own stamp block because it's so big. And then you can use that stamp block with anything else you got. Now, the pages that I used here were a gift from my friend, Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. She sent me this Enchanted Garden. And I used some of the purple. I used this page. You can see here. I used some of the white. I used this as the inside of one. This one here is on the outside of some. And the purple one. Yeah. So I have a white, purple, and that's that Starburst one. So that's the ones I used here. So what I did was used more of the Pink Monarch prints up here. And of course, this was from the skeleton one. Should have kept that one over here. Yeah, the Condemned, Rest in Peace, I mean. So the skeleton come from there. I forgot the spider. See, I interused them. So the spider is from here. He is from that set. So I wanted something up here on this guy's forehead because it was plain. So I put the spider and I colored it in with ink no, alcohol ink markers. I'll get it out, don't you worry. Uh, so anyhow, then the skeleton, I have the identification number is used here. The Undertaker is used here. This is another one of the pink monarchs. And then inside, I've got the casket company, which is up here. And what I figured I would do is put like a big journal card in here. It'd be the only thing I'm going to put besides some tea-dye papers. And it'll be the shape of a casket. That's what I was going to do. This is the stamp I was telling you. It's on the other thing. Oh, it was the one over there. But I have a bunch of washies that are Halloween oriented. So I just did that to kind of frame around the witch hazel mineral water. So that is what I'm doing, and we're going to get to work. And then all I have to do after this is some of these papers, when I folded them, were cracking, especially this purple one. So it's going to get a black lace that goes down the side after I sew in the signatures. And I really, I'm a purple fan. And I've got more of the cheesecloth on here. I did use some of, it was a sprayed book page. So that's what I put behind Undertaker, just so it had something. So let's get to work on this purple one here. Oh. All right, there is the sprayed cheesecloth. Here's the book page of what I have left of it. There's all the little goodies that's going to go on here. And what we're going to do first is we're going to take and we're going to glue down Undertaker to this piece of book page. And I'm going sideways with it because I ran out of room the other way, but it's all right. Hope everybody's doing well. I need to ask you that. I think I forgot on the last video. I just get right into it and forget all about the niceties. Shame on me. Okay. But I do. I hope everybody's doing so well and enjoying what's left of their summer. And fall's hitting in hard and heavy. I think it's going to be a bad winter. It's just happening too fast. We usually have an Indian summer here, and it's just not happening. Ugh. So, anyhow, hopefully everybody is well. Have gotten over most of that kookiness that had happened to us last year. You know what I mean. This is a piece of washi tape. It's one of those that has a paper on the back. But what I'm going to do, the way this shattered stamp was, it had a flat side. And I kept forgetting to try to minimalize that. It didn't happen. So I went ahead and got this pretty little piece. It almost looks like lace. And I put it down here just as a trim to try to finish that off. And then I put a little glue under it. And then I go in here and I just cut off those edges just to finish it. And that's all she took. Okay, then we're going to put our cheesecloth down here. And I think I need to put it this way so I can get my nice dark edge there. And let me go ahead and kind of trim it out. It's got a little bit of a glitter to it because of me spraying it with that mica spray. All right, that'll do, that'll do. And now what I need to do, oh, I don't think I took into effect, that one was there, but I'll fix that. Now what we need to do first, I usually just lay this here, and I have a piece that's got to go underneath, or go on top here. And it'll be underneath Undertaker sign. So let me do that. Oh, got the wrong one, sorry. Let me get myself under control here. My goodness. Yep, there's a big old thing happening at the shop here this weekend, and I need to do these and get them ready. And then I have some what do you call it? The paper bag journals. I haven't done those for a while, but I need to get those done. And some of those made Halloween style for the shop. Then I have get ready for my trip in October. Me and Zach, we're still working away on inventorying our cemetery book, but I don't think we're going to get it done in time. Now, if you don't know what we do, me and Zach, we go to Wayne County, West Virginia, and Mingo County. It's right there at the line. Now, what happens is his grandparents and my grandparents came from within 50, no, not even that, a half a mile, let's put it that way, a half a mile of each other. There's one little town over there called Kermit. Now, that's the little town that we go to and do most of our, we call it our home base, basically. It's where everybody must have went to go shopping, unless they went to like a little mom and pop store. That was like the big town. I mean, this thing is tiny, but it's right there where Kentucky has a bridge that comes across. Kentucky, I was telling you in one of the other videos, is a dry county. So all of those people came over and came to Kermit to drink at the beer gardens. And a lot of carousing and hooping and hollering and all kinds of stuff was happening, you know. So there's all kinds of interesting articles we found over time. And it's fascinating. We met up. He's like probably could be my son. He's that age. I'm an old croaker. So we meet up. He comes from Ohio. I come from Virginia. And we go over and we have a certain area. We do cemeteries. And what we do, we go and we'll take down all the names. He takes photos. And I take a map and I'll draw it. And I try to draw everybody in a row. He takes photos and he writes down what's physically on the stone. And then we get together that evening after we've got all of the map done. And we get together and figure out where everybody needs to go, where we need to start a new row, where we need to stop and, figure out what's going on. And then what we do is we research. We'll go and we'll look up obituaries. We have deaths we'll go to the courthouse and look up. We'll have deeds we sometimes have to look up to figure out where the person lived. And sometimes they'll mention a death, like if it's being left to the heirs, that kind of situation. So it's very interesting. We have a ball doing that. And we're both kind of, I like puzzles. So it's basically a big puzzle to me. And we've done it for so long. We sometimes get these feelings, or I get these feelings. I don't know if Zach gets them. But I don't know, if you ever heard of a savant, I kind of call myself a cemetery savant. Because after a while, you get a feeling of where these people are probably going to be buried. And so we used to have these older gentlemen that actually helped us out with that. But, most of them have passed away. COVID was hard on all of them over there because they like to go to church and they like to be close to people or hug them. And I mean, it was just not their way not to be friendly and outgoing with everyone. And I don't think they were much into getting the shots and boosters. Not that I know that if they help any. So we kind of have lost a lot of information from a lot of great people. And if you're trying to figure out what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to fray that edge. So I pull out some of the little skinny pieces from the edges. and just kind of make it kind of jiggy-jaggy looking. You can clean it up a little bit if you need to, but that's all it takes. That's all. I just picked all those little goodies out. Now inside I've already got my Condemned, and then on over here I've got the Undertaker. So that cover's done. Now all I got to do is get my pages figured out, and I'll probably pick about 15. So it's a monthly journal. So you got about 30 pages in it. And then here is the other one. This little piece of paper was so great. It has so many neat things on. Here's the hand. This over here, I could probably put one of those little guys here just to have something. Because trees, I don't much know what to do with those trees. So I thought that was perfect. I almost put this in the kitchen in the haunted house. And I decided not to. Now I'm going to put this little 10 cent because it's nice and grungy in here because there's not really much going on in here. I also put a little bit of washi up at the top, so we'll do that as well while we're in here. So this kind of goes right like here, just to give some bit of interest on this stuff. And then what we'll do here is we'll just go across. I love this brown suede. Some of these papers were one-sided, so I had to go in and add, let's see if I got enough of this bird, and add a little paper that ends just underneath this pocket. It's just enough to have that thumb pull there. Goodness, okay. So anyhow, that's kind of what we do. We'll get into the newspapers and we'll be looking for one person. And then all of a sudden, we're always looking at the other obituaries though to see who they are, just in case we need them. And lo and behold, we'll find another one that we didn't even know about. A lot of times it's a child nobody spoke of or knew about, and they have a little small obituary, and it's so cool to find them. And then it'll say where they're buried, so we do our darndest to figure out where exactly they would be. Now here's another piece of cheesecloth. It's more blue than it is brown, but that's okay. So we're going to put that one in here. Let me figure out which side needs to go down. Maybe this side. This here I'm going to cut off because it's just white. That's the edge. It didn't get done. And then we'll go across here. There. I'm telling you, cheesecloth is great stuff. You can do all kinds of grungy bases with it. Okay. I can go up here. Now what I'm going to do is just put that down and then glue up this with some more of the Fabri-Tac. I didn't do too much else to this. Is more simpler cover, but then it's a more detailed and busy cover as well because of the paper itself. So it didn't get much done to it. I've been wanting to use this little 3/4 inch skull. I thought it was so cute. Now it's a little shorter or longer, so I bunch it up sometimes. You put your finger under there and push a little bit, and it bunches it up. And it gives you a little bit more texture. Oops, let me go down a bit. There we go. Now, the next part is going to be put on with just regular or glitter glue. So, I'm going to glue that down. Yeah, so we sometimes can figure out where somebody is buried. Like if there's a rock beside another person, and we know they were married, and then we find out if we find their obituary and it says they're buried there and we haven't seen them anywhere else, we know that that is probably the spouse beside them. So that's what we do in some cases when we're pretty sure that's who that is. If we can find a family member, we'll ask them. Sometimes we have a cemetery page that goes along with our, it's like Marbone, Kermit, Jenny's Creek, West Virginia Research and History. So we will put out feelers on our page and ask anybody if they know. I'm trying to get this candle just right so that tip goes out of the little smoke ring there. But yeah, we'll ask, and if they don't know, then we kind of put a question mark beside it. But we're pretty sure that that's who that person is. We hate that nobody gets, identified. They've been forgotten over the years because families just moved off. Things have happened. It's kind of sad. Sometimes family didn't have enough money to put anything on a stone, so just the person just got a rock. If it was a baby, not much was done for them, especially around the Depression era. So there's a lot of things. So that was what we thought we were doing for the community with doing these cemetery books. We're helping to give these people a name. Okay. Whoops. Sometimes you tug and you get a knot, and sometimes you don't. So I just try to be real gentle and then pull it back out. But it leaves a great look when it's kind of shaggy like that. There. And you got all these pieces and parts. Oh, goodness. I don't think I've got anything else to show you at the moment. This is the only thing I've been working on, except for what I made and is in the video today. But I show you everything there. So anyhow, I'm going to continue to work on shagging that out, but otherwise it's done. It's got the word on it. It's got the focals and everything. And this would make a nice little witchcrafty kind of small journal, like for like a little monthly journal of what they accomplish, or write their little spells in, or something like that. This will also get a type of cover on the spine, another probably piece of black lace. So let me pull up all of our goodies that we have. We have these 3 that just got done. And then we have these, where I have a variation of colors. And as you can see, the inside is green on this one. And it's got the purple. Then inside of this one's a white. So there's a little variation in case they have a certain color. I love the teal that they really like. And I will probably do something on my page, probably, if you want to see how I did the casket. But it's easy enough. But anyhow, thank you all my subscribers and viewers and watchers, everybody for coming to visit, spend a little time, leave me a little love, thumbs up. Anyhow, everybody have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.